So the keeper of the box also wants to make sure that you don't remember being in the box once you transfer out of the box. Once you're free and everything's clear and you've got over the fact that you drowned and the pain of not breathing and you're in the spirit world, which may not be what you think, the keeper of the box still has reign over you and makes sure that you don't remember being in the box. But there are some people that do remember being in the box. And you hear them talking about their past lives. And you hear them talking about how they feel like they've been here before. And then you have things like deja vu, which I feel like we've all had. And we remember pieces of being here before. We remember, we're like, oh, I've seen this before. And those are glitches. And the keeper of the box wants to make sure that everybody else in their box convinces you, plays a role in convincing you that there's something wrong with you because you're remembering being in the box before. And so they have all these medical diagnoses, schizophrenia, and all this other stuff. They even lock you up in a hospital because you're remembering being in the box before. And they don't want you telling everyone else in their box that there's an escape. Because if you remember being in the box before, that means that you left. And the keeper of the box doesn't want anybody to know that it's okay. It was safe to leave and you came back. And when people say, for example, like there's even sayings like, think outside the box. You're being encouraged to remember being outside the box because you've been there. So the keeper of the box and the box itself doesn't want you to remember anything about being in the box, because for that matter, you might remember how to get out without fear. Because once you're out and you're conscious of how you left, you might also then be conscious of how you could have made it over without feeling pain, fear, or any of those things. And then the keeper of the box doesn't have control anymore. And people that have died and came back to life and they're back in the box, some of them go crazy because they remember being outside of the box. Their subconscious remembers being free and not being in the box. And the keeper of the box doesn't like that idea. And a lot of people say that when they're transitioning out of the box, that they see people, family members that have transitioned out the box, friends, and they say that everyone says It's the whole concept of following the light when you're transitioning, however you're transitioning, however traumatizing, out of the box to go towards the light. And the only reason in my brain that there's a light to go towards is because you're in a box and it's dark, because you're surrounded by walls. So the light is blocked off and the only light is up. That's why they say heaven and everything is up. The only light is up. So to follow the light is to go up out the box. When my godmother was passing, I was young. I was like 14. And she was almost dead. And I remember her reaching out. She's reaching out and she's saying, like, her eyes are like almost glossed over. And she's like, don't leave me. Don't leave me here. Don't leave me here. Take me with you. And she's crying out. And I always wondered, who is she seeing? How is she seeing it? She's now in the process of transitioning out of the box. And there are other people that have already transitioned out of the box waiting for her to come. And why does she not want to be left? Now she's conscious of the box because she's transitioning. And she doesn't want to be left back in the box. Everyone else is crying because they're in the box and they don't want her to leave the box. But she doesn't want to stay in the box because now she's conscious of the fact that she was in the dark, surrounded by walls. And she's finally escaping to the light, which is out the box, where there are people waiting.